Really boxing. Who wanted the baddest? Let's see. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO. This how it's finna go. I'ma throw some jabs. Make them think my punch is weaker than I hook his ass. This the ring, not the kitchen, but I'ma cook his ass. Me and him, that's the pro versus the rookie class. All my life I had to fight, but I still love it. Me and BVO got moves that you can't steal from us. And these haters be throwing shots, but I don't feel nothing. I ain't gonna lie, shit, they alright, but we a little rougher. Step up for the title and face your rival, this ain't no little tussle. Bet I be no bird, being chicken to get your feathers ruffled. Footwork, I'm dancing around my opponent like the Cupid shuffle. Good work, bodies hit the flow, they can't move a muscle. The upside is we ain't in the streets, shooting and shooting up. Catch me in the ring, sticking, moving and suited up. I know everybody can eat, but I ain't full enough. Oh, you said it's smoking some beef, I guess I'm pulling up. Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know. Shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know. Every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know. I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show. This is BVO.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO. It's your boy D Free Bayless in the building. And this is the Roll with the Punches podcast. How you feeling, Free?
Man, you know it's the motherfucking greatest podcast.
Hey, so we got a lot to get into today, man. What you think about PBC leaving, man? Showtime, man. What you think about that?
Man, it could be for the better. I mean, we saw the outcome of boxing leaving HBO. It didn't stop boxing from still producing great fights. And I think with them moving to Amazon Prime, I mean, it could be more accessible for the fans to be able to get to the fights that they want to see. Because I mean, we hear complaints about we having to sign up for this app and having to sign up for that app to get these fights or whatever. So I think it would be in a better place if all of these promotional companies could get under one network, because then we could see all the fights that we want to see and not have to worry about signing up for app after app, because that can be a headache, especially for the older folks that still watch boxing, because you gotta try to show them how to sign up for this app and how to program it and all that stuff. So if they can all get under one network, and whether it's ESPN or Amazon Prime or DAZN, whoever it is, if they can all get under one network, everybody will know how to get to the fights that they want to get to. If everything is on Amazon, a lot of people got Amazon anyway, whether you shop on Amazon or you watch Amazon Prime. A lot of people have Amazon, so it'll be very accessible for the fans to be able to see these fights.
Yeah, I agree with that, man, because I don't know this to be true, but I hear there's a $90 million deal on the table for PBC to come over to Amazon Prime. So you're talking about $90 million, man. That's all money to the good, because we all know Al Heyman already got his funding together. So for them to put $90 million initially up on the table, I think it's amazing, because it kind of makes sense now why Al Heyman was getting all the big fights. They gave him an unlimited budget, and he went after it. You see that he got Canelo still for 2 more fights. He got Tank Davis, I believe, under contract. Errol Spence under contract. He even has Terrence Crawford under contract for another year, for another fight. So I'm just excited about that. Let me read a couple of these comments real quick. Salute to my brother Crush, the second greatest man alive behind me. Pause. Salute to my man Anthony. He said, yo, D, You said I predicted this 12 months ago. People thought I was crazy. Everybody like to say Showtime is going broke or Showtime losing money. I think that got more to do with Al Heyman's skin color than actual facts. I don't know. What you think about that, Freak?
Yeah, I mean, Showtime, um, they didn't lose money. They
Mm-hmm.
decided to not put on boxing anymore. They wanted to focus more on movies and TV shows instead of focusing on boxing. And I heard somebody say this earlier on the platform, with Hollywood passing that new deal. They got to pay the actors more money. So that means these networks got to pay out more money to for these movies and stuff like that. So they that takes away from being able to put on big fights. So I don't think it's Showtime losing money or going out of business. They merged with Paramount. Paramount is a bigger platform than Showtime.
Mm-hmm.
Paramount. I mean, we all know Paramount own Walt Disney World and things like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they got movie studios that they own. So it's not so much they going out of business. They merge with a bigger company, and usually when you merge with a bigger company, the bigger company has their agenda that they want to push. So you got to fall in line with their agenda. So it's not so much that they going out of business. They merged with a bigger company, and that bigger company decided to do away with boxing because it was costing them too much money to put on these big fights to make money. They had to
Mm-hmm.
put out more money to make money, and so they wanted to focus more on movies. I mean, where Amazon's not just focused on movies and TV shows. They have other businesses that keeps
Right.
them afloat.
Yes, that's a good point. My man AB, salute to AB, man. What do you say? D Free BBO, salute to the chat. Salute to my man Josh Sanders. Hey, salute to Quickly. We trying to get you back out of retirement, Quickly. We gonna need you as our moderator when I go ahead and give D Free, this lesson in boxing, man. It's about to be crazy, man. It's coming up real soon. D Free to let me know privately that he's scared, but I'm letting him know it's gonna be all right, man. Your boy BBL gonna take it easy, man. But salute to my man. He said, no, I'm talking about saying that a boxing promoter was going to sign a huge contract with Amazon Prime. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. He said, BBO, you the third, bro. Hey, you know what I gotta say to that, man, and I gotta just send you some love, man, because you always come on here and make me laugh, and this is for you.
Cállate la boca. Shut your mouth. Cállate la boca. Cállate la boca.
That's for you. That's for you, Crush. My man Josh, he said, Cook, shaking my head. But the funny thing about this is I feel like people been preying on PBC's downfall for so long. It's almost like that's what they always wanted to happen. It's just crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is, PBC ain't going nowhere. PBC actually made a great business move. So for them I mean, we gotta understand PBC got a new deal in line, and they have a network that they're going to be fighting on in the future. We
Mm-hmm.
don't know what's going to happen with Top Rank because Top Rank, ESPN said they're not renewing their contract, so we don't know what's going to happen with Top Rank. Top Rank might be going over to Amazon as well.
Yeah. If it was my way, I would wish they would go to the Zone and make the Zone the biggest app because that would be you would have Golden Boy, and then you would have Matchroom all in the same house with PBC. I think this would be a good way to put the old man out of business if they could do something like that. Because I'm telling you,
What old man out of business?
Bob Aaron, I would love to see him put.
Bob
Say
Aaron
again?
wouldn't be out of business because Bob Aaron wouldn't be out of business because he runs Top Rank. DAZN ain't running Top Rank.
No,
No matter where you
what
go,
I'm talking about is they can keep the big fights from him. Is what I'm saying.
they can't.
What you mean?
How they gonna keep the big fight from Top Rank? It's
What I'm
his
saying is
company.
that if you got Matchroom, Golden Boy, and PBC all under one umbrella, it'll be tougher to make more fights because contrary to people understand that Matchroom makes a lot of fights with Top Rank. That's why Top Rank has fights that you want to see because they do a good job of matching up with them. But I think I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. I think Amazon Prime will be good. I think they in like almost 300 million homes, something like that, some crazy astronomical number like that, almost 300 million. It's only 300. It's supposed to be only 300 million people in America, but they got 300 million worldwide. So I think it'd be good. My man said, as you said, Devio looks like Joe Budden. This dude is a goofball. What do you say? The issue though, Eddie Hearn doesn't have TV dates in America. Well, Eddie Hearn doesn't put on the best fights. Eddie Hearn was putting on a lot of good fights, but his fighters was getting beat to death. I think that
makes sense. That makes sense. Putting Eddie Hearn out of business instead of talking about putting Bob is better. Is Eddie Hearn that needs to go away because I mean, if you look at it, all of the best fighters are with PBC and Top Rank. They got what, like 2 or 3 fighters on DAZN?
Yeah.
I mean, all of the best fighters is with Top Rank and PBC. So Eddie Hearn is the one that been putting on these bogus fights. Top Rank, they have some cards that you be like, wow, I really don't want to see it. But for the most part, Top Rank put on better cards than Eddie Hearn. Now we know PBC as of late been putting on the best fights, but I would say Eddie Hearn is the bottom of the 3.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I just, you think about all the stuff that Barry Hearn did with David Haye, Derek Chisora, before Derek Chisora went over to Queensberry. I just think it's kind of funny because Eddie Hearn said he had $1 billion war chest. He was going to do this and that, and he did nothing. All he did was put Canelo. Really, he kind of helped Canelo star fade, if you think about it. Only fight that he gave Canelo was really worth anything was the fight with Danny Jacobs. Of course, Triple G, but I don't think nobody ever wanted to see another Triple G fight because Triple G really won the first 2 fights and was cheated. So I don't think people even want to see that. But then, I guess he gave him a double fight. But no matter how it goes, man, I feel like long term, man, I think Eddie Hearn kind of has been underwhelming as a promoter, man, to say the least. He really has. He said Oscar don't have much in his stable for big fights. Oscar got a lot of young guns, man. Like you got Floyd Schofield. I believe he has Tiger Johnson. I know he has Rocha. He has a couple of different guys.
Who, Oscar?
Yeah.
Oscar, he don't have Tiger Johnson. He got Kid Austin.
Kid Austin. He didn't sign Tiger. What did Tiger?
No, Tiger's with Top Rank.
Okay.
All of those 95% of those young prospects is under Top Rank. Like I said, Oscar got Kid Austin, but the rest of those guys is under Top Rank.
Yeah, salute to my brother Skywalker. He said facts D3. Salute to my brother saying what's up, guys. He said, and that's the problem with losing Showtime. We're losing a lot of TV dates in America because they're moving out of the sport. I would have to disagree with that because no matter what, Al Haymon used to buy dates from CBS directly, so I don't think they'll have a problem putting on cards. I mean, let's be honest, man. He got the 2 biggest boxers, whether you put them 1 or 2. You got Canelo Alvarez, who did 750,000 with a guy nobody even knows, and then you had Tank just do 1.4. I mean, most of that was Ryan Garcia, but still, he was able to do. What you laughing at, bro?
Boy, the delusion is ridiculous. This nigga said most of that was Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia had nothing to do with that.
Okay, if most of that was Ryan Garcia, tell me why Ryan Garcia ain't on another pay-per-view.
He's on the pay-per-view coming up. He's about to
no, he's not.
He's about to fight the winner of Regis versus
no, he's not.
Versus Devin.
No, he's not.
What?
He's not.
What are you talking about? He's not.
He walk him upstairs real quick.
But no, he's not about to fight the winner of Regis and Devin.
That's what Eddie Hearn is trying to do. Eddie Hearn wants that to happen. I don't know if that will happen, but that's what he's saying. Hold on 1 second, y'all. My brother D3 got to step away. But
hold on 1 second,
y'all. He said, my man AB said, I think with boxing being under the entertainment umbrella, they basically have to follow the same rules as movie actors and scripts. He said most of that was not Ryan. He said, salute to the chat. Salute to my brother A1 said, when that hot link coming. You know the funny thing about boxing in general, hold on, let me drop the link. Um, I think this has been the best year of boxing, and it's sad because I don't think people understand with Showtime being out of boxing, man. That's gonna really hurt boxing, man. That's gonna really hurt boxing. No matter how you want to put it, that's gonna hurt boxing. I don't think that's a good thing. I dropped that link. Salute to my man Juan. He said, King G, salute. My brother DP Rocker, what's up, brother? I'll just say this. It's just funny because when you think about PBC, what Al Heyman has been able to do, man, building this thing from scratch and being able to put on some of the best fights we've seen in many, many years, I think this is going to be huge. Because we know we got to get Tank versus Teal. We got to get Tank versus Teal. We got to get Tank versus the Puerto Rican kid, Sugar Shakur. There's so many fights to be made. I think PBC will do just fine because you just did over 200 million pay-per-views. You just did 2 million pay-per-views with two guys. So it's gonna be special. My man King G says salute. He said, I'm making a crazy prediction, but I can see the guy who fought WWE giving a bunch of money to both Bob Ram and Al Heyman to buy PBC and Top Rank. I don't know if Walt Disney would want to take on that. That's a big undertaking. They just brought together WWE and UFC, which I think is kind of, I don't see that working long term because the thing about WWE was people forget that Vince McMahon is an absolute genius, man. We talk about scripted reality. This dude's a genius. Salute to my brother. Oh, 1 second. We got my brother Free back. Okay. He said, my man Yo said, what's cracking? Boxing is different. Instagram followers buy pay-per-views whenever we like it or not, bro. So Ryan did bring most of those buyers versus Tank. I've been telling D Free this for a long time, man.
Like I said, that's not true. That's what y'all believe. Because if Ryan Garcia never fight another pay-per-view, not even another pay-per-view, because he could probably fight another pay-per-view. Why is this next fight that Ryan Garcia is fighting on? If he brought so many fans to pay-per-view, why is this next fight that he's fighting not on pay-per-view? He got a fight coming up soon.
I don't know. I'll say this. Ryan Garcia is one of the biggest stars in boxing. To say he's not would just be, I mean, it's be very short-sighted to say something like that.
I'm not saying he's not a star in boxing. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I don't. I mean, Tank Davis has been fighting on pay-per-view, and Tank Davis
never did anything like this before.
It doesn't matter. That's where y'all don't understand when it comes to pay-per-view buys. Whether he did this number or not, he was the one that they seen on pay-per-view. He was the one that was selling out stadiums. Ryan Garcia never sold out a stadium, so he got this big fan base. He brought most of these people. He never sold out a stadium. Never. Right. Before he fought Tank, they never sold out a stadium. He sold out a stadium with Tank Davis. They did 1.2 with Tank Davis. The key factor is Tank Davis. Tank Davis, he's already been a pay-per-view star. He's already been selling out gates, even with Rolly, with Hector Garcia. He's already been selling out gates. So the fight,
he sells out the venue. He sold out the venue.
That's what I'm saying. He sold out the gate. But the fight did big numbers because people wanted to see that fight. It had no difference. If Tank Davis would have fought somebody else, it still would have did good numbers for Tank Davis on pay-per-view. It still would have sold out in the venue for Tank Davis. Ryan Garcia would have fought somebody else, it wouldn't have sold out.
I get what you're saying. I think Tank is put, people in seats. I think with this fight, because Tank always do about 200 to 300,000, no matter who he fight. So I think he would have got it 200, 300,000 no matter what. But I think with a guy like Ryan was able to bring that extra 800,000 to the table because he got
Ryan brought his fans. He brought his fans. But the thing is, we don't know how much of that was Ryan's fans. We know that everybody wanted to see this Ryan versus Tank Davis. They've been talking about it for almost 2 years. They wanted to see that fight. So that's why that fight did so well, because people wanted to see that fight. whether they was fans of Ryan's or they was fans of Tanks. They wanted to see that fight. It could have been people that wasn't fan of either one of them. They just wanted to see that fight. So it's not saying that Ryan brought all those people. It's because they wanted to see Tank Davis versus Ryan. That's what they wanted to see. So that's what I say. When you put the fights on that people want to see, they gonna buy the fights. It don't matter who the fighter is. If it's a fight that people want to see, if you got Devin Haney and Shakur Stevenson, Shakur never been on pay-per-view. Devin been on pay-per-view, and he did 150,000 with Loma. And we all know Loma is a star in the sport of boxing. He's one of the fastest 3-division champion. Loma and Devin did 150,000 pay-per-view. Everybody want to see Shakur versus Devin. If Devin and Shakur does, say they did 800,000, that doesn't mean Shakur brought all those people. It's the fight that everybody wanted to see.
Well, I think you got to remember that Shakur is Spanish, and usually Spanish and black does really, really well together. So I don't know if they do. I doubt they'll do that much. But I mean, I think the fact that he's Spanish will help. It will help. Let me read a couple of these comments. He said, "No, the guy who owns UFC, WWE is not any part of Disney." I didn't realize that. I thought UFC was owned by Disney. My mistake. My man King Boxologist said, "What's up, D3?" He said, "To tell you the truth, I think boxing is going to be like WWE in a minute. They decide who's going to win before the fight, and everybody just follow the script. It might be, it might already be like that. I don't think so, because I can guarantee you this: there's no way that that Earl Spence would have got beat like he stole something if it was a scripted, because that second fight is not even really wanted. Because at the end of the day, if I'm Terrence Crawford, I'm bringing him back to 147. And to be honest, if you give Terrence Crawford 7 more pounds, he probably really, really hurt Spence bad. So
I mean,
no matter what,
I agree with what you're saying, because if that was the case, yeah, Earl Spence wouldn't have lost that fight, because Earl Spence was the pay-per-view star between the two guys. It would be in their best interest to make Earl Spence win than Terrence Crawford. Everybody, the whole notion is Terrence Crawford can't sell. That's the whole notion. He can't sell, so there's no reason to have Bud Crawford win over Earl Spence, the one that actually sells.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny, people don't realize this, but other than Deontay Wilder, who was the biggest star at PBC, number 2 was Earl Spence. People talk about Tank, but Tank was kind of separate because he was with Floyd directly. So it's a little different. My man Josh said if Ryan did most of that Tank, then he should do that. Well, with Tank is consistent with his respectfully pause. Anyway, I'll say this. It helped the fact that you had Latino versus black. That's the biggest thing in boxing. Really, black versus anything is going to sell in boxing. That's just what it is. Am I wrong, Free? Black versus anybody's going to sell in boxing. That usually sells in boxing.
Yeah. I mean, we all know race sells. So when you put two opposite races against each other, they're going to sell more than, most of the time, they're going to sell more than the same race fighting against each other. Unless they're 2 megastars or 2 superstars fighting against each other, then that's going to sell. But for the most part, when you put a separate race versus a separate race, they usually sell more than the same race fighting each other.
And you got to remember, that's what makes our podcast so good. You got me, the Asiatic black man, the original man, with a Puerto Rican. That's why our podcast is so good. It's always works like that. Since my man, yo, what are you looking at me? My man said Ryan told Oscar he didn't want the fight on pay-per-view unless it's pay-per-view worthy. The kid might sing like a diva, but he moving how we want boxing to move. That's a fact, man. When it comes to the fighters that really do what the fans want, it's people like, really, it's Mexican style. It's Latino style fighters like Errol Spence, Latino style fighter. Teofimo Lopez, Latino style fighter. Same thing with Ryan Garcia. These are the guys that make the fights that you want to see, because I know for a fact that Al Heyman was not pushing for no Errol Spence versus Terrence Crawford fight. He was not pushing for that.
I mean, I understand that. I hear people say that it's not pay-per-view worthy. This fight is not pay-per-view worthy. It's pay-per-view worthy if the fans buy it. Now, you might not believe that it's pay-per-view worthy, but if the fans buy it, then that means it's pay-per-view worthy. So I mean, and then and the same token is, if it's not pay-per-view worthy, why are you fighting that fight? Why are you not fighting a bigger fight to make it pay-per-view worthy, to maximize your dollar? Why are you fighting something that's fans don't want to see? Because you basically, what you're saying is the fans don't want to see this fight that you're about to fight. If it's not pay-per-view worthy, the fans don't want to see it. So why are you fighting a fight that the fans don't want to see? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, it's a lot of tune-ups and bull crap in boxing. Crush said Tank has Mexican fans. Quickly said that's a win every time. Salute to my man Clarence, man. Assalamu alaikum, bro. Salute to my brother, man. Peace to this brother. He said, salute to my people. Be free, BBO, my guys, man. My man Anthony said, I have a question when it comes to pay-per-view. Significantly, who bought more of the casual fan base, Tank or Ryan? Of course, Ryan. I mean, Ryan with the biggest dudes on YouTube. I mean,
No, he's
so
not.
was you. Oh man, Logan Paul and Ryan Paul, them dudes. Like,
Ryan is not big on YouTube. He's big on Instagram.
no, I'm talking about not Ryan Garcia. I'm talking about Logan and Ryan.
He
Logan
said
Paul,
between
Ryan Paul.
he said between Tank and Ryan, who brought the biggest fan? The
Wouldn't it be
casual
Ryan?
family.
Wouldn't it be Ryan? Because Ryan got be around all the biggest YouTubers, bro.
We won't know that unless every fan come out and say, "Hey, I'm a Ryan fan." Oh, hey, I'm a Tank Davis fan. We don't know. I mean, we can speculate what we believe. We don't know. I mean, I know that knockout sells. So the one that got the higher knockout ratio is Tank Davis. Knockout sells. So if you telling me who got the biggest casuals, I think Tank Davis is more known than Ryan Garcia as far as casuals.
Yeah, I would agree with that. My man Josh said, Clarence, what's up? He said Tank versus Ryan bought the casuals out. It definitely did. My man Clarence talking about buying some, bean pies, whatever. This is a professional show. We don't do no roasting on here. What he say? My God. He said, see rough and salute. That's a fact. Oh, my man Tommy, all the way here from the Bronx. Man, I got something for you, Tommy, man. This is what every time I see Tommy, I think about this.
I don't hate the kid.
You don't?
I don't hate the kid, but I just like to put him in the hospital, though. I like to sue that ambulance.
But what did he say? Hold on one second. He said, salute, Tom. He said, but if you think about it, it's like entertainment that was perfect for the long money. If EJ wins, then they have a draw next. They can milk for the next 5 years or so. I'm gonna tell you this, AB. I'm finding out a lot of that stuff really ain't that deep. The fact is that Errol Spence got in there with a Mexican style and got beat from pillow to post by a slick black fighter. That's one of the hardest things to beat in boxing, unless you like Oscar De La Hoya or like a Teofimo Lopez. One of the things I wanted to bring up, and I'm gonna ask you about this, Free. What do you think about Tank being a known coward to have rehydration clauses? Because if you think about it, Terence Crawford didn't have no rehydration clause. Neither did Teofimo when he fought Josh Taylor. At the end of the day, if you're gonna fight at the weight, you should fight at the weight. What you think about people not liking how Tank is moving with this cowardice behavior? What you think about that?
Obviously, they don't like the way Canelo ruled, because Canelo was doing rehydration clause way before Tank was doing it. Obviously, they don't like how Oscar De La Hoya was moving, because Oscar De La Hoya did rehydration clause. They don't like how a lot of people did, because a lot of people did rehydration clause. Rehydration clause been going on way before Tank, and still going on to this day after Tank. There's a lot. I keep telling people there's a lot of rehydration clauses that's in contract that people don't know about because people don't talk about it.
My brother D Free had to hop on that building real quick.
No, because I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm not gonna just talk about one fight. If you talk about one, you gotta talk about all of them. He ain't the first and he ain't the last. So if I'm gonna talk about one, I gotta talk about all of them.
Well, let me ask you this: what do you think about Tio calling him a P word and a B because he want to have a rehydration clause if they fight? What you think about that?
I mean, I don't really take too much to what Tio say, because I mean that man ran from 135. So I don't really take too much to what he say, because I mean he had opportunities to fight Tank Davis if he wanted to fight Tank Davis. He had opportunities to get his belts back if he wanted his belts back. That man said, "Nope, I'm not fighting you in no rematch. I'm going to take my ass to 140 and try fight somebody up there.
My man said, no, BBO, LOL. He said, Ryan Paul, that's what it should be. He said, I agree, AB. Tank, he said, Tank a little dude. What the F? I don't want to hear that, Crush. Don't fight at 140 if you're scared to do it. I never remember the Hawk ever having no rehydration clauses. You ever remember the Hawk having the rehydration clause when he fought guys? And guys are bigger than the Hawk all the time.
You don't remember nobody having rehydration clauses unless they talk about it. We didn't know that. We didn't know that Tank Davis had a rehydration clause with Mario Barrio until Mario Barrio came out and said Ryan Garcia is crying about a rehydration clause. He said he's crying about it. I had one. I ain't never cried about it.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
you didn't know about it and let somebody talk about it. So I'm not gonna say that this man didn't have one because you don't know unless somebody talk about it. You're not back there seeing the contract.
Well, I don't know how you say Tank is a little dude and he's hitting like bricks. That makes no sense.
He is a little dude.
But at the end of the day, little dude or not, if you're gonna be the biggest star, you gotta fight the biggest fights. I mean, you gotta do it with no rehydration clause. But hey, it is what it is. He said that little dude hit like a heavyweight. No, he don't hit like no heavyweight, Josh. He hit like maybe a strong welterweight. He don't hit like no heavyweight.
Nah, that nigga hit hard as shit.
I mean, you know how hard heavyweights hit, bro. He said,
hey, I know heavyweights that can't hit as hard as Tank. So I'm not saying he don't hit hard. That nigga hits hard because shit. I know heavyweights that can't hit hard as Tank.
My man Sean said,
if you look at the little punch game that they do, and they see how hard you punch, shit. Mm-hmm. Tank Davis got a higher ratio than fucking AJ. AJ was like 830 something. Tank was at 940.
Yeah, AJ was playing around, man. But
how you know if that man was playing around?
Yeah,
how you know if he was playing around?
He had a big smile on his face, bro.
Dog. That man, you don't know if that man was playing around or not. That's what you
on, freak. Suit on, freak. What are you talking about?
Dog, you don't know if that man was playing or not. That's not a fact. That's what you believe.
Oh, I love that. I love my man Freak, man. This brother's crazy. He said Devin is poised to run for 135 too. Well, you know what? I can't say that Devin ran for 135. The Puerto Rican kid didn't want to fight him, and at the end of the day, nothing he can do. He can't make the Puerto Rican kid fight. All these Sugar Shakur fans out there, they don't call Sugar Shakur out. You know, he called Devin Haney a B, talked about his father, Bill Haney. I mean, at the end of the day, they don't call Shakur out. Shakur backdoor his own friend and Jamel Herring by going to WBO behind Jamel Herring's back after they had already had a deal scheduled. So Sugar Shakur is one of the slimiest guys in boxing. Let's not forget about that.
I wouldn't say Devin Haney ran to 135. I mean, ran from 135. Devin Haney outgrew it. We saw how Devin Haney was looking in his last 3 fights. That man was looking anorexic on the scale. that man outgrew that weight class. It took him 5 times to make the weight for Loma. It took him 5 times to make weight.
Yeah, he almost left them belts on the scale. So
he almost lost them belts on the scale.
That boy AB said the clause makes a big difference on fight night. I've heard of guys put on 15, 20 pounds after weigh-in. You should be able to weigh whatever you want after you do the weigh-in. It's just that simple. Crush said rehydration clause is for even playing between fighters. Them dudes want the fight advantage because they fear his power. Think, people. I think that's the most asinine point I ever heard in my life. That's what you call straight up caping. Now, you want to talk about putting on your superhero cape for somebody? That's exactly what Crush did. Crush, I wish you would come up here, man. That was an awful, terrible, one of the worst points we ever heard.
So basically what you're saying is rehydration clause is bad. That's what you're telling me?
What I'm saying is, at the end of the day, there's no excuse. Go in there and fight.
No, I'm asking you, do you believe rehydration clause is bad?
I don't know. I won't say that it's bad, or I won't say that it's good.
So
what's going on?
If you're not saying that it's bad or you're not saying that it's good, how do you feel about the IBF? Because they have a rehydration clause in their championship fights.
They do it the best, but they do like a 5 pounds or whatever. But after that,
it's 10 pounds. It's 10 pounds.
It's 10 pounds. I thought it was 5. But so after that initial 10 pounds, you can weigh whatever you want.
Yeah.
Remember
And that's what Tank Davis did for Ryan. That's exactly what he did for Ryan.
You remember when the Miracle Man Danny Jacobs fought Triple G? He actually forfeited the IBF belt so you can come in a little bit heavier. So,
yeah, but I'm saying, Tank Davis did exactly what the IBF does. They implemented the IBF rules. They came in at 136, and then the second weigh-in, they couldn't weigh more than 146, and then after that, he could weigh whatever he wanted. He did exactly what the IBF rules says.
Hey, what's up, Sheldon? How you feeling, Grandpa?
What's up with you youngsters, man?
Oh,
look at my guy over there, D-Free. What's up, baby?
What's going on?
Man, we got the same record, D-Free. We got the same record, baby. We won 2 in a row.
Hey,
yeah, man. I've been listening and tripping off all the shit that's been going down. We all knew though, but we all knew Showtime was getting out of boxing. We knew that. It was coming.
See that?
Because they wasn't really making no money off boxing.
I wouldn't say that. I think they.
You got to remember, this is $1 billion company, man, and in any big business, and you know this, BVO, you know this, D-Free, you especially know this. When you spending more money, when more money's going out than is coming in with a certain product, what do you do with that product?
Usually get rid of it.
Cut it.
Yeah.
That's in any business.
That makes sense. That makes absolute sense.
That's in any business. Go ahead, D-Free.
No, I was saying I don't think they was losing money. The last couple of fights. My bad. Hold on. My bad. The last couple of fights, they actually been making a lot of money. They ain't been losing no money. They've been making a lot of money the last couple of fights. So I don't think it's so much them losing money. I think it's more so they have Paramount had other intentions what they want to do with Showtime, because they was the ones that actually brought Showtime. I think they had other intentions how they want to run Showtime.
Right, exactly. But what I'm saying is, when you buy a business, the first thing you do when you buy a business is what? You audit the books, right?
Right.
You see what's most profitable and what's least profitable, correct?
Yeah.
So since we taking this entity on, we bought this company, we're looking at what's most profitable and what's least profitable. This is not making as much money as this.
Yeah, I mean,
so do we want to pour? So do we want to pour more money into this, or do we want to just cut this out and focus on the shit that's making money?
Yeah, but that's different. That's different than saying they was losing money. That's boxing wasn't doing as much money as TV shows and movies. That's not saying that they was losing money. They just wasn't doing as much as movies and TV shows, because that's what Showtime does. They does TV shows and movies. They don't do no other sport.
But think about this though. But this is the part you're leaving out. Showtime been doing boxing for 37 years. 37, bro. Not yesterday, not 2 weeks ago. 37 years. And then this other company buys the company, and the first thing they cut is what?
Oh, that still doesn't take away from my point. I don't care if they had it for 100 years. If boxing not doing as much as movies, doesn't mean that they're losing money. It's just not doing as much money as the movies and shows. Doesn't mean that they're losing money. It just means it's not doing as well as the movies and TV shows. You can have
I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But I'll say this: it wasn't as profitable as the other shit, so they cut it.
Yeah. Now that's a correct statement. It wasn't as profitable as the TV shows and the movies. That's a correct statement.
Yeah.
Let me read this comment real quick.
So now let me ask y'all this.
Hold on one second. Let me read this comment real quick. He said, Josh Sanders said, if a brother can hit and you in the eye one time and you go blind, and that eye, how can you argue that respectfully? Well, at the end of the day, I don't know. I think your boy Garcia was putting 100 on 10 because he really said he was blind. I've never heard a guy say that. My man Sean putting out the Albert Einstein math.
So let me ask y'all this right quick. Let me ask y'all this. What do y'all think? Where do you guys think they're gonna go? I think the best bet for them is probably Amazon Prime. I think that
They
might be the
already
best
with
bet.
they already with Amazon Prime. It ain't where they gonna go. They already with Amazon Prime. That's where they deal is done. It's done
Yeah.
for 2024. It's already done.
Yeah, they had it in Wall Street Journal actually talking about they got a $90 million upfront bonus or whatever for their contract. They're getting an actual budget. I guess apparently Showtime wasn't giving them a budget the same way ESPN did with Bob Arum. So pretty much Al was doing what he always did. He was taking all the risks. That's why he's making so much money. I didn't notice about him, but I'll tell you guys something cool I found about him. Al Heyman has been paying his fighters like $1 million, $500,000 guaranteed, and they'll end up making $10, $20 million at the end of the day. I guess he's one of the first guys in boxing to really.
You got a phone call. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that was one of the reasons why Al Heyman got sued, because Eddie Hearn and Oscar and Bob Arum said that Al Heyman was paying his fighters too much money, and so that's why they were suing him, because they were saying he was stealing their fighters because he was paying them too much money, which I found is crazy as hell, because the fighters is the one that's taking all the risk. The fighters should make as much as they can possibly make. If they
Well,
can sell.
the crux of that lawsuit really was the fact that Heyman had the money from his investors, and he was buying up all the TV slots. That's why they sued him.
Yeah, but
And they couldn't get no fight dates because he was buying them all up, and they said he couldn't do that.
That's not his fault. He could buy up every TV day. If he got a fight to put in those slots, he could buy up every goddamn TV day there is. If he got a fight,
Well, the judge said he couldn't do that, so that's why he lost the lawsuit.
Yeah, he lost that lawsuit, but he didn't lose the lawsuit when they were saying he was paying his fighters too much money.
I guess, hey, not to chime in later. I guess I'm more along the lines of I don't really care as long as I get the fights I want to see. Everything else is irrelevant to me. I don't care if they end up with BLK Prime or hell Toyota dealership. I don't care. GMC. It don't matter to me. I don't care. I don't care one bit about their money. I don't care nothing about any of that. I don't care about speculating on it. I just want to see the fights I want to see. Just give me the product that wherever you're going, give me the product of it. And I honestly believe, and me and Deefree kind of talked about a little bit, that Amazon Prime is the best bet, because Amazon Prime is everywhere, is global, is worldwide. Everyone has access to it in one way or another. So it's like that's the movement that everybody going towards. And I think if they'd have went on YouTube, like YouTube, YouTube TV or whatnot, they would have lost a lot of money on it, because they would have forced them to have people to have that subscription for it or to buy it a different way. People already be complaining about having a YouTube Premium is too expensive. Imagine YouTube TV. That costs more than cable do at this point for some people. You know what I mean? It's like a lot of people with Amazon Prime, bro. You can have a free You can have Amazon just have your own free little subscription, or you can have a little other one where it's like, they're not gonna raise their rates at all, because they make so much money in different kind of avenues. So they don't care one bit about, we don't need to raise anything. As a matter of fact, we'll come in lowballing them at the price of this because we know people gonna buy it.
It's all 100% profit, because they already have it, and so you don't have to pay you don't have to raise the rate. All you got to do is say, okay, this is how much the fight costs if you want to watch it, and that's all 100% profit.
You got to remember this too. I don't know if you guys read the Wall Street Journal. They're going to bring back the Budweiser concert series. They wanted Al Heyman. They didn't necessarily want PBC. That's the kicker that people don't realize. I forgot about Al Heyman's promotional days, but he's bringing back the Budweiser concert series to Amazon Prime. So he's got some of the biggest people in the world getting ready to come perform, of course, to be a part of his Budweiser series. So I never knew that, but this is the first time I feel like Al Heyman is actually getting his just due, because you
talking about that shit back in the day, the Budweiser Superfest you talking about?
Yeah, they're gonna have a Budweiser concert series on Amazon Prime now, and Al Heyman's gonna head that, which is funny. I didn't even realize that, but they kind of was saying that the CEO of, I guess they got different avenues of it, and they were basically saying that the person that's over the entertainment side with Amazon Prime wanted Al Heyman so bad that he would do anything to have him, because they wanted to bring that concert.
I mean, they already starting to merge over to that, because if you watch the Thursday Night Football, after the Thursday Night Football, they tell you about the concert that's going on after Thursday Night Football. So they're already starting to merge over to that.
Yeah, but I thought that was funny. They're gonna bring the old man back to what made him a legend. Salute to Tay Tay. We say it's all facts. My man DP said, "Heck yeah." Hold on, he said, "I think Showtime was under Cinemax back until they added boxing." Hold on, he said, hold on one sec. He said he made a heavyweight piss blood for a month after sparring session. Don't be sleeping on that little dude, man. I gotta be honest, Josh. When it comes to your boy Tank Davis, man, you hug his nuts with both arms, bro. I don't know why you do that, bro. He's not that good. To my man.
I don't know what you say. You say he's not that good. I mean, ain't nobody proved him wrong yet.
Hey, when T.O. F's him up, bro, I don't want to hear nothing.
No,
Hey, like you ain't got T.O. balls dribbling juice dribbling down your chin. How you gonna slap somebody but then act like you just didn't get slapped yourself, man? Come on, man.
This nigga still talking about T.O.?
No, here we go.
This nigga still talking about T.O.?
Hey, I don't never talk about
Come on,
like
nigga.
You killing me with this, bro. Y'all killing me
You
with this.
killing me with this T.O. shit.
All I can
nigga.
say is this, hey,
You have to stop. Y'all keep talking. Huh? You keep talking, man. And you shut the fuck up. Huh?
Is a no good, lousy son of a bitch. Hey. That's exactly what he is.
No, I'm gonna say this real quick. I mean, I understand.
Cállate la boca. Shut your mouth. Cállate la boca. Cállate la boca.
I understand what BBO saying. He's saying he's not a big T.O. fan, but what I gotta say is I understand one person might be lying, one person might be wrong, but everybody can't be wrong and lying, dog.
You know what's funny? We'll ask everybody in the chat. We got a nice amount of people on the chat. Salute the G5. Put a one in the chat if you say that BBO is a fan of T.O. Put a one in the chat, and I can accept that. I don't see not one in the chat. There's no ones in the chat, bro, because I just talk about great fighters. It's just that simple,
Hey,
man.
BBO, if you had a super chat, I would super chat $111.11 if it was possible, just to get my point across, man. Ain't no way, bro. Like, hey, stop the cap, man. Stop all of the cap, man. You got more cap than lids, bro. Stop it, man.
Hold on, let me read a couple of these comments, man. You talking too crazy. What do you say? T.O. going to bed, 81. Stay out my head. Hey, T.O. is not going to bed. He's going to be taken to death. Sleep to my man Clarence, my man Tommy all the way from the Bronx, man. I thought I could smell something. I know he was in here. Salute to my man. What do you say? Sean said somebody got to take a pay cut for the work in the future. Whether it's
No, you see all them goddamn ones in the chat, boy,
or the Orthodox or the fighters. Oh, here we go. Oh, you put ones in the chat. Well, that's a hated thing to do, Frick. But that's a hated thing to do, Frick.
Let's go, Frick. Give me my fucking chain.
You talking too crazy, but back to what we were talking about. When it comes to Al Heyman being with Amazon Prime, I think it's going to be good. The only question that's going to be is, are we going to see Tank take a real fight? That's the real question. Will Tank have enough to take a real fight? Because it sounds like he don't want any parts of T.O. because he's trying to put a rehydration clause on Teofimo Lopez. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
I don't know. I can't see him. I can't see him putting a rehydration clause in there with T.O. if they not sitting down negotiating a fight. So I don't know where you got that from.
I got it from whenever you see Floyd on Fight Hype, he's saying he's doing everything he can to work with Bob Arum to get a T.O. fight. Now he want Tank to have the best fights. You can look it up.
No, what I'm saying is, where do you get that Tank is putting a rehydration clause on Teofimo? They're not even negotiating.
No, Tank.
Yeah, where do you even get that Tank is fighting T.O.? I heard he fighting the Cruz dude again.
No, what I'm saying is they're trying to set up a fight for that. You know how Tank do 2 fights at a time, set up 2 times at a time. So basically what they're trying to do is set up a fight, but in order to make a fight with Tank at 140, that's what T.O. wants to fight him. It has to be our rehydration clause. So that's the kind of
who said that? Who said that?
That's what T.O. went on a whole rant about. He called T.O. Tank a B and saying he do all this thug life talking, but he don't want to fight. The fact is, the man is putting rehydration clauses on people, man, and that's the most cowardly thing.
You trying to fight a smaller man. The man is fighting at 135. Why you ain't
If you-
fighting when you was at 135?
Oh my God!
And here's the
Because
thing,
he was
right?
trying to
Who got
make
the
me
belt?
undisputed.
Who got the belt? Who got the belt? T.O. or Tank? Who got the belt at 140?
Tio got the belt at 140. Tio.
Okay, so why you gotta capitulate to him? You ain't gotta do that. Fight somebody else. Fight Matias. Clean
He's
up
the
your whole
biggest nigga in
division.
the world, man. He's the biggest nigga
Fight,
in the world.
fight, clean up your whole fucking
Oh.
division, and then you can do whatever you want.
BVO, are you smoking? Are you high right now?
Tank ain't the biggest dude in the world. Are you nuts?
You said who?
Hey,
Tank Davis.
I only got one question.
No,
Tank
D3,
Davis
my
is the
bad.
biggest
Not
star in boxing.
hey,
Go ahead.
BVO. If you believe what you saying, how much you want to bet? If that fight's ever made, how much you want to put on it?
Hey man, I got 100, man. Me and you got 100.
All right. We gonna go 500. We're gonna go 500 on it.
Hey, I said we going 100, man. We going 100 on that. We going 100.
If we go 100, then you gotta burn a one Browns attire on live TV. You gotta burn one of your Browns things. If we go $100, you gotta burn something.
All right, what's your team?
like the Saints.
My team's the Saints. I'm confident. I'll burn that and I'll burn my Lakers with Lakers gear, whichever one you want.
Okay, cool.
But what happened to what I said though? How come T.O. don't just say fuck Tank and just clean up his whole division? Fight them.
You don't want to answer that.
I don't think Tank T.O. is going to do that because I don't think he's going to beat everybody at 140. For one. No, he could beat a lot of guys. I don't think he's going to beat everybody at 140. But the thing is, I hear a lot of people say, Tank fought at 140. He fought there before. Why he can't go back up there? The man fought up there and said he didn't like how his body felt at 140. Now, I could see if the man went up there and he lost and said, I didn't like how I felt at 140. The man went up there and knocked him out and said, I didn't like how I feel at 140. The man didn't lose. He won. He said, I don't like how I felt at 140.
So why is he even talking about T.O.? Why is T.O. even talking about him? If T.O.'s at 140 and he's at 135, why are they even talking about each other? They're not even in the same division.
Tank ain't talking about T.O. Tank ain't talking about T.O.
No. This you a goofball. This is the thing. When you talk about Floyd Mayweather Jr. saying he wants to make a fight, people listen to that show. It's just that simple.
Yeah,
but from what I heard, wait a minute, from what he said, he's not with Floyd no more. He's doing his own thing, correct?
That's cap, man.
No,
it's not cap. No, it's not cap. No, it's not cap. No, it's not cap.
If you with Al Heyman, you with Floyd.
It doesn't matter if you with Al Heyman or you with Floyd or not. Even Leonard Ellerbe, who's the CEO of Money Mayweather, he said Tank Davis is not with us. He does his own thing.
Why?
And you just said if you with Al Heyman, you with Floyd. Then why did Errol say I'm not with Floyd? Floyd don't control my motherfucking career. I control my own shit.
That's just him talking crazy, man.
No,
that's cap too.
Hey, D3, I think the only part that BVO is missing out on is the fact that Tank is showing admiration and love to Floyd, so he's assuming that still matches up on paper that he's still with the money team, or he's still under that umbrella. In reality, he's just cool with them. I mean, that's the difference.
He's not
this
with
thing. This is the thing that y'all missing. This is the thing y'all missing. Tank Davis has told us that he didn't fight the best when he ducked Lomachenko. He said he didn't fight the best because he didn't have control of his career. So as soon as he gets control of his career, he fights Garcia, and then he fights Ryan Garcia, who really some would say is a high-level prospect. So I don't want to hear nothing about Tank because Tank don't fight the best. Tank has one of the worst.
You said Ryan Garcia is a high-level prospect. This is the same dude that you said was going to beat Tank.
I was wrong.
He ain't no high-level prospect.
He the best he's done in his career is become a silver champion, the silver WBC champion. That's the best he's done.
What prospect is a silver champion? Nobody.
I can't think
nobody
of that right now.
Nobody, because you know why? You know why no prospect is a silver champion? Because once you become a silver champion, you're not a prospect, you're a contender.
Okay. Well, that being said, I'm just wondering, and I'll ask you this too, Shuck. What you guys think about a guy like T.O. kind of not getting his just due when he's the guy who fought all the toughest fights? What do you guys think about that?
The toughest fights?
I think that T.O. is the type of guy. He fights up or down. T.O. fights up or down, depending on the level of competition he's facing.
Right.
That's what I think about T.O.
Yeah.
Right here.
But you the same one that said when he respects you, he knocks you out.
Hey,
I
get
heard
down.
you say
Here,
that.
man. Here.
I heard you say that.
Here.
I ain't
No, I
saying
didn't say he's not you out. I said he's gonna give you a great performance. He might beat you if he respects you, if he trains for you, if he's actually intrigued by the prospect. If he thinks the guy is trash, he gonna walk through the guy like he thought Sandro Martin was. You see what the result is. He gets dropped, he gets beat on because he's not there mentally. But if he's fighting somebody he has respect for, he's gonna put his best foot forward. That's what I see from Tio.
But he slipped. He slipped versus Martin, man. Why do he slipped, bro? That wasn't no knockdown. He fell.
No, the first one was a knockdown. The second one they say was a slip, but both of them was knockdowns to me. He got hit with a punch and he went down. So that's a knockdown.
Did it go down as a knockdown?
The first
what
one
about
did. The
Kambosos
second
is
one
the
went down
question.
as a slip.
No,
The first one went down as a knockdown.
Did any one of them go
The
down as a
first
knockdown?
knockdown, the first knockdown was counted as a knockdown. The second knockdown was counted as a slip.
So he got knocked down by Martinez.
Who had just beat
Yes, he
Mikey
did.
Garcia? Who
Yes, he
had just beat
did.
Mikey Garcia? So it's not like he's a bum.
He didn't just beat Mikey Garcia. He beat Mikey Garcia in the past. He didn't just beat Mikey Garcia. He fought Mikey Garcia like a year or two ago.
And you know what's funny? We got a guy in the chat, my brother Clarence, man. This brother say he know about boxing, but never comes up to the plate to come talk to BBO and D Free about boxing because he knows better. But that's a smart man. And
Hey man, scratch all that. Nobody care about Clarence. What about goddamn Kangaroo Jack that beat on his ass?
Who is that?
Kambosos, man. Kambosos, when he beat that ass, what you got to say about that, man?
Well, Tio almost died. We all know that.
Kambosos put an ass whooping him that he almost died.
That fool said he didn't have no air while telling us he didn't have no air.
Well, he said, "Well, not no Tio or Washington." Speak to my man Marcus Dan.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say
He
that.
said, "TD, I'm with y'all." He said, "Boxing needs to open itself up to more sponsors in the best, and the best needs to fight the best more often. Get Jiffy Lube involved." Ha ha ha. Suit to my man Currency, man. He said, "BBO talking crazy right now. This brother's crazy." What he say? I don't think Tio coming back down. No, Tio should be fighting Tank at 140. He said,
He ain't supposed to be fighting Tank at nothing. You listening to Floyd? Floyd wants that fight. That's not a fight that they're making. We don't know who Tank is
Cover your
fighting.
mouth, you see, baby.
We don't know who Tank fighting.
We all
Right
seen the
Right
graphic of what's going on.
Right.
All I'm saying is this. I think there's a strong chance that fight could do $2 million, man. If you get Tank versus Tio,
Niggas, you crazy? Is you crazy?
$2 million. That could be $2 million.
Nigga, you crazy?
No,
I know you high. I know you high.
That wouldn't be $2 million. You tell me that wouldn't be $2 million. I think him and Devin will do 1.5.
No. Tio and Tank is not doing no $2 million. Tio is not a bigger name than Ryan Garcia.
Well, he's more accomplished though. That's the thing you missing.
It doesn't matter if he's more accomplished or not. I don't give a fuck how accomplished you are. If you don't have a big name, you ain't selling shit.
I feel you, man. He said, "Wow." But let me ask you guys this, man. This is a big important thing I was wondering, and I want to ask you why you on here, show, because D Free never is ever going to be honest about this. When you think about boxing now, do you think boxing needs another great Spanish fighter to reach his full potential? What you think? Sheldon.
Me or Sheldon?
You go ahead. I think Sheldon doing something. He might be shooting or something. Go ahead.
I'll say the only way I say if I was to say yes, it'll be from the perspective of we all know the Spanish community, they ride with their fighters. You know what I mean? If they got them one. They're gonna back him 110%. You saw that in the numbers of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from that perspective, from a selling standpoint, because we know Black versus Latino has always did big numbers historically, I have to say yeah, because we've seen when Black fighters reign supreme, how the hate is real. Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't want to dub that person a face of boxing. The last person they did it with, and it was like no debating it, was Floyd. And people chimed in because they wanted to see him lose more than they wanted to see him win. But then that was the point, the selling point of it. Of people chimed in to see him lose, and then you got people that were supporting it to the point that wanted to see him win. So they was just showing like, nah, we're gonna ride with him because he's gonna beat that ass. So I would say, from selling, yeah, you have to have another you know what I'm saying, ethnicity to ride with the black fighters, bro. Because we had Wilder riding high as a true king, but then what? People was just shitting on him left and right. We had Floyd they did the same thing. EJ and Bud, they do the same thing. So it's like when you see Canelo, them motherfuckers love him. You know what I mean? When you seeing that they was trying to build up Jesus Ramos, but he got, you know what I'm saying, the situation with Lubin, how that played out.
He got robbed.
Yeah, like they looking for look how they riding for Pitbull, and he got multiple losses. You know what I mean? Like they want somebody to cheer behind. The same thing with how Manny Pacquiao was, multiple knockout losses, bro. But they like the Filipino community, they ride behind their people. We the only ones that have an issue with. We want to bicker in between. You know what I'm saying? Pick and choose between the two. But in other ethnicities, bro, they ride like to the umph degree for them, and they don't even like argue about it, bro. They just hey, get over here. They just ride for them like to like no, there ain't no internal bickering when it comes to that. So I have to say, yeah, bro, like it's needed. Unfortunately, like it's sad to say it. Like I wish I could be like, no, we don't need no other ethnicity. Like even though we the champions of champions and all that, at the end of the day, we don't get the recognition at all, because the first thing they try and say is that, oh, well, you know, black fighters are just what is it? They DNA is different. They build different. So from the standpoint of they bred to do this, and they're more athletic and this, that, and the third. It's like it's just all hate, bro. It ain't never giving no black fighters they flowers.
Yeah.
And it's tough to even find fighters.
Let me ask you this, A1, because you made that was a beautiful point. I couldn't agree more. So do you think Sugar Shakur being Puerto Rican can help with that cause?
No, because he wasn't really like, you know, like he said it himself. You know what I mean? Like if the Puerto Rican community embraced him, then that's cool. If not, you know, because he wasn't even aware of the whole situation either. Like I can't hold him verbatim what he said, but just to like kind of sum it up, that's pretty much what he said. Is he didn't even know, because he not close with that side of the family like that. So it's like he just now kind of just saying like, hey, like I'm here. All I found out, you know what I'm saying? I represent, and I'll hang that banner up too. But it's like if they rock with me, they rock with me. If they don't, they don't. So I can't say he's gonna be the trendsetter for it.
Can you see the screen? I don't know if you can see the screen.
Hold on.
Look at the screen.
Yeah.
So you got a great young Puerto Rican fighter in Sugar Shakur. I'm just wondering, can he feel a need? But what you think about that? Because A1 I thought was spot on.
No, because I mean, for the most part, like A1 said, Shakur never claimed to be Puerto Rican. That's a publicity stunt for Top Rank. That's what Top Rank wanted him to do, to embrace his Puerto Rican side of his heritage. But he's considered a black man. That's what everybody look at Shakur as, a black man. That's why when they try to put that publicity stunt on, it never really took, because everybody knew him as a black fighter. They didn't know him as a Puerto Rican. Even the Puerto Rican Puerto Rican fans don't really support him as a Puerto Rican fighter. They support him because he's a good fighter. But I mean, you got a lot of young Mexican and other race that's coming up. I mean, you got William Zepeda. He's a good fighter. He's undefeated. You got Jesus Ramos, who a lot of people, and I'm one of them, believe that he got robbed in that fight. He's a good fighter. You got motherfucker David Benavidez, who's undefeated, is a good fighter. So you got a lot of young guys that's coming up, and you got David Morrell, who's a Puerto Rican Cuban fighter that's coming up, that's undefeated. So you got a lot of Spanish or Latino fighters that's coming up that's undefeated, or only got one loss that are good fighters. So you going to need other races, because I like I always say, black versus anybody sells. Any like what we were just talking about earlier, when you have other ethnic groups fighting against each other, it sells more than the same ethnic group fighting against each other. It sells more, because unless they two megastar, like you got Floyd Mayweather versus who he fought, Shane Mosley. That's going to sell because they're two stars. So unless you got two stars fighting against each other, Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin is not going to do as well as Tank Davis fighting William Zepeda. It's not going to do as well, because William Zepeda got the Mexican fan base. Both of their names is about the same far as level wise. William Zepeda is an upcoming star. Frank Martin is an upcoming star. Their names are about the same. So Tank Davis fighting Frank Martin is not going to do as well as Tank Davis fighting William Zepeda.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I see. This is the thing. Salute to my man Josh said 140, better watch out for Antoine. He coming. Antoine Russell is super talented, but he don't fight enough. I mean, he's making the same mistake that a lot of fighters do. He's just not active enough. He's talented. I actually think Gary Antoine Russell could beat T.O. That's how high I am on Gary Antoine Russell, because I think he's a bigger version of his brother. And anybody, it's no secret how much I admire Gary Russell in the ring. I think Gary Russell is one of the biggest travesties in boxing because he completely wasted all his talent. And I think that Gary Antoine is a bigger version of that. So, I mean, it's going to be tough to beat Gary Antoine, but he's proven that boxing is not his priority. So until he makes boxing a priority, we'll never know what he can be.
No,
but
boxing is his priority. He
He
don't do nothing else but box.
He wouldn't be fighting once a year, bro.
No, once a year, because he's fighting once a year doesn't mean that boxing is not his priority. It just means the fights that he's trying to get is not lining up. But boxing is priority. That's all he do is box. All he do is hang out with his brothers and they go to the gym. That's all he do is box. He don't do nothing else but box. You don't see Antoine on these other social media just out there partying and doing all that.
No,
All they do is
I'm not
go to the
saying that.
gym.
I'm just saying this is an A tier talent that's not fighting. I don't think you realize that's pretty.
I mean, you got a lot of guys that only fight once a year.
No, not this young in their career.
Yes, you do. How many times has Shakur Stevenson fought in the last year? How many times has Shakur Stevenson fought in the last year?
He's a 2-division champion. It's not the same thing.
I didn't ask you how many division champions. I said how many times has he fought? Because they're the same age.
He fought once, but it's different.
Okay,
He's
so
already
he
been a champion
fought once, and so did Antoine. Antoine just fought.
What I'm saying is this, and I'm not trying to cast aspersion or anything. Like, I know that's family. But
I'm just saying it's a lot of guys that only fight once a year.
I'm saying a guy that talented usually doesn't sit on the sidelines like that. That's what I'm saying. When you got that type of talent, you don't sit on the side. You just don't. You don't.
Boots only fight once a year. You got a lot of guys that only fight once a year. It just that's the way they do. They make their money and they get a decent paycheck and they chill for a while. That's what they do. There's a lot of guys that do that.
Hey, well, I'll say this before we get out of here, and I'm gonna ask the whole panel this, and we're gonna start with A1, and then if Sheldon come back, and then if not, we'll have Free finish it. What do you guys think about Sugar Shakur not embracing the fact that he never knew his father, but he still is saying that he's a Puerto Rican fighter? Does that not make you lose a little respect for him because he's doing it as a money grab and it's not genuine? And at the end of the day, is that sustainable? And I'll let you go ahead and start, everyone. What you think?
So when he said he never knew his father, like that's speaking past tense. So you never know the relationship that they have now, because I don't know if he spoke on that specifically. So there's plenty of situations like that out there where, you know what I'm saying, the pops wasn't there for whatever odd reason and this, that, and the third. But then like later on down the line, whether they're famous or not, you know what I'm saying, they rekindle that relationship and they're able to build from it. So I don't know, I can't speak to that part because I don't know what his current relationship is with Pop. If they tight now, that he just shedding light on the past 10 of the situation and he letting it be known like, oh, okay, I just found out that I'm Puerto Rican, then you know what I'm saying, he gonna ride with it. For example, like even myself, both my parents, they've been together way before I was born. They still together now, right? But I never knew the type of native. Like I'm Choctaw native. I never knew that until like literally within the most recent of years. I didn't know that at first. So it's like, and it's something I started looking into, doing my research on it, finding out this, that, and the third. So it's like, oh damn, like this is where, you know, knowing this is where part of my family come from and stuff like that. Like I take the pride to that. So when they have like Indigenous People Day and stuff like that, like I'm rocking with it. I'm not doing no quote unquote Thanksgiving, you know what I mean? Because I know what that represents. So it's like certain things when you become educated of where you come from or what you are or any of those kind of things, then it's like it sheds a new light, and then you become, you know, you want to dive into you want to educate yourself on those things. So in the case of him, like if he cool with his pops now, that whole thing come from him literally just like paying homage to that and recognizing and acknowledging the relationship they got now. And I think honestly, if it fold well and they come out that way, then it's gonna play out well for him from the perspective of it's a good story to have, and on top of it, you know what I'm saying, that the Puerto Rican community they they might ride behind that just because I think what Cotto and I don't remember what Trinidad was, if he was Puerto Rican or something else, but like some of the
Trinidad,
fighters,
he was
like
Puerto Rican.
when they start seeing that you getting in here and you that skilled, you that talented, you representing and you putting on, and then you trying to fight the best, they gonna gravitate towards that because they acknowledge and recognize the skill of it. Like I think that's gonna happen. My bad for being long winded, but that's just my
No,
take on it.
that was a great take because I think what you're saying is true. I just think it's a little. I think it's a little. This it gets me a little confused. If you don't know the man, how can you embrace a side that you don't even know? And he made it pretty clear in many interviews that his grandfather and his mother were the ones that raised him. I think it's a total slap in their face for him to represent himself as a Puerto Rican and not as a black fighter. I think if you think about that, how does his mom feel about that? How does his grandfather feel like that? So we good enough to raise you, but you're not good enough to represent us. I think that just goes into the fact that it proves that Shakur is one of the biggest frauds in boxing. Go ahead, Free. What you think?
No, that's not a slap in the face at all. I mean, that man, if it wasn't for his father, he wouldn't be alive. So he has every right to embrace the side of his father, especially since he never knew him. He wants to get to know that side. Like A1 said, I don't know if he reached out to that side of his family or whatever, but I mean, if I'm not mistaken, I believe I heard that they say his father had passed, so I don't think he can get in touch with his father. I could be wrong about that, but I believe they said his father had passed. But either way, he still have that side of his family, which makes up Shakur Stevenson, because however you look at Shakur Stevenson, like most people look at Puerto Ricans as blacks anyway. They're black. Whether you want to say, oh, they Puerto Rican, no, they're black. I'm half Puerto Rican, and we consider black. We're not considered the straight Puerto Rican unless you come straight from Puerto Rico. You consider black. So he still has every right to explore that side of his family because he wants to know where he came from, because that part of that side of his family, what makes him to what he is, because we don't know if the boxing side came from his mother or his father. It could have came from his father. I mean, because Shakur been boxing since he was a young kid. He was boxing since he was 6 years old. That could have just been always in his blood because we don't know what his father did. I'm not familiar exactly what his father did prior to Shakur being born or whatever. But I mean, so he has every right to explore that. Like even me, my father was Puerto Rican. My mother is black. My father passed when I was 14, and it's still parts of my family that I still try to reach out to because that's the side of my father that I don't have. So I wanna keep in touch with that family because that's my family, regardless. That's my family. So you can't say that it's a slap in the face because that's his family. That's where he comes from. His father was Puerto Rican. I mean, if you didn't want that, then you shouldn't have laid down with a Puerto Rican individual. So I mean, that's where he come from.
Hey, you rough. Let me read these times when we get out of here. He said, it'd be a great fight until Tio gets hit, talking about Gary Antoine versus Tio. I would agree with that. Gary Antoine is a bulldog. I think I'm telling you, he's a bigger version of his brother, and got a little Sean Porter, and he got a little dog in him. So I think he'll be terrific if he ever get on track with boxing more often. He said boxing needs great fighters, darn the ethnicity. I know what you mean. I just think that sells, and I'm just saying, I see what Free's saying, but I'm saying if we raise you, we only good enough to raise you. You're not good enough to represent us. That's all I'm saying.
He still represent them because he represent them all the way up until Top Rank wanted to push this Puerto Rican flag.
You see that picture on the screen?
All the way up until that point when Top Rank decided to push that Puerto Rican that Puerto Rican cell piece, he was considered a black fighter. Nobody knew that Shakur Stevenson had Puerto Rican in his blood. They only knew him as a black fighter. So I'm not saying that's all that they only raised, because Shakur always shots out his mother and his grandfather. He always shots them out. So I mean, like I said, he gotta give some homage to his father because he wouldn't be here if it wasn't for his father.
I respect that. He said Terrence Crawford, ha ha ha. He's never spent a day in Puerto Rico. He's from Jersey. He's one of the baddest fighters America has ever produced. He's the cream of the crop, and he'll rise to the top soon enough. Shakur, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you this: he's a great fighter, but at the end of the day, he's more accomplished than a lot of guys. He's more accomplished than Devin Haney. He's more accomplished than Tank Davis. He's only person he's not more accomplished in, and it might be a little bit of a tie. Is probably him and Teal because Teal is a 2-division champion.
I wouldn't say he's more accomplished than Devin Haney.
Oh well, I'm talking about he a 2-division champion. That's why.
Yeah, he a 2-division champ. I mean,
that's a big deal.
Tank a 3-division champ.
No, he's not. He got
yes, he is.
Those. We don't count those.
No, there's no such thing as a franchise belt. He has the WBA regular belt. I keep trying to tell
you. I said those are French fries belts. You get those.
No, you could say they. No, so do you consider David Morrell a WBA champion?
No.
Well, you're stupid if you don't, because that's what he is. He's the WBA champion.
No.
Yes, he is.
Canelo Alvarez, born ready, is the WBA champion.
Canelo Alvarez is the WBA super. David Morrell is the WBA champion. When you look at the ranking, they has him as the WBA champion. What are you talking about? It says WBA champion and WBA
that
super.
Mindset is killing boxing.
Dog, your mindset is what killing boxing.
No,
your mindset is what killing boxing. Dog, like I said,
boxing.
when you look at the rankings, they have him as the WBA champion. They have Canelo as the WBA super. It's no such thing as regular. It's WBA champion. Y'all came up with the regular belt. It's not considered a regular belt. It's considered a WBA champion.
Salute to my man Clarence. He said, I feel like Gary Russell's every bit as good as Boots. Gary Antoine Russell beat Boots a few times. I'm telling you.
He beat him 3 times in the amateurs and Boots beat him once.
Yeah, this is what I'll say. Gary Antoine Russell could be one of the biggest stars in boxing if you go off his talent. And it's a small sample size. I know he had a tremendous knockout, but I've been following him for a while. And even in the amateurs, he looked like a man amongst boys. He just is not the biggest guy. I think he's about 5'10" free.
No, they got him listed at 5'10", but he ain't 5'10".
Oh, he about 5'8", 5'9". But
he about 5'8", 5'7", but they got him listed at 5'10", but he's not 5'10".
Suits my brother Diaz. What I'm saying is, I just think from what I've seen, and free, you can attest to what we've seen. The talent's there. He can follow on the inside. He can follow on the outside. Has a beautiful jab. Knows how to throw his punches. He turned the punches all the way over without even being told to.
He's as talented as Boots. I just think Boots is more athletic. And like I said, I'm not gonna downplay anything because Gary Antoine is the truth. But he's as talented as Boots. Boots is just more athletic.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think the only thing with Gary Antoine is he got to stop trying to always maul people because he kind of smothered his punches. But if he can fix that, sky's the limit. But before we get out of here, man, I got to ask you a question, man. So going forward, man, if we ever got Gary Antoine versus Boots, who would you pick? Family aside, who would you pick?
Who would I pick?
Yeah, family aside.
It's a 50-50 fight. A lot of those guys improved since the amateurs. It all depends on if Antoine can impose his style on Boots. If Antoine can impose his style on Boots, I think he has what it takes to beat Boots because he's a better inside fighter than Boots is. Boots need distance in order to get his opponents out of there. If you look at his knockouts, all his knockouts is from space. He creates space in order to knock his opponent out. Antoine don't need the space. So it all depends on who can impose their style. Because if you go back and look at the amateur, the last 2 fights that they had, the one that Antoine won and the one that Boots won, it was Antoine was able to oppose his style on Boots, and then in the one that Boots won, Boots was able to impose his style. So it depends on who can impose their style. I would say it's a 50-50 fight. At this point, I would lean a little bit towards Boots because of the pro style experience. He got more experience. He got 31 fights. Antoine only got, I believe, 19 fights. I believe he got 19. I think he's 19-0 with 19 knockouts. So I would lean a little bit. It's like 49-51 to Boots.
Who's more talented? That's the question, because I think Gary's a little more talented.
They
He look like his brother, man. He look like his brother.
They're about even as far as talent wise. They both got excellent footwork. They both got good defense. They both got fast hands. They both got power. They both got good boxing ability. It's about even. Like I said, the thing that separates the two is Boots is more athletic. Boots is more athletic than Antoine. But far as talent and skills, they're about even. It's just Boots is just more athletic.
Yeah, I just this is the thing I'll ask you. So the style that we see Gary Antoine, so was that Big Gary that taught them how to fight like that? Because they all kind of fight similar. The smaller one at I think he had 118. He doesn't fight like them, but I think Gary Antoine, and a lot of people say he looks like a bigger version of Gary. You think that's a fair assessment?
That wasn't from Mr. Gary. That was from their father. Their father, yeah. Their father did that because even with my cousin Gary Jones, who's their older brother, they all. Batman? No. That's Gary was he was a fighter at 147. He was also a champion.
Okay.
He's locked up right now. They all had fast hands. That was the main focus was them to have hand speed and have head movement. It was hand speed, head movement, and footwork. That was their main focus. And Mr. Unk, he combined all of their styles into Antoine because Antoine is the baby out of all of them. There was Gary Jones, there was Mr. Gary, and there was Gary Antonio, and then there's Gary Antoine, and he combined all their styles into Gary Antoine, and so that's why we see a little bit of everything inside of Gary Antoine. That's why if you ask Mr. Gary, he'll say Antoine is the best out of all of us because he has a little bit of all of them in his style. So his father implemented that style. He implemented all of their styles into Gary Antoine.
Oh, okay. So he's like a Floyd. He's like a creation.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because there's times when you see him fighting, he just look like a big Gary Russell out there.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about him, man. I think, like I said, and you know, I'm pretty unbiased, but I think he would stop Tio if he was focused and can fight like I know he can fight. There's nothing that tells me he couldn't be undisputed at 140.
Yeah, he has all of the talent and all of the skills to be able to beat everybody at 140. It's just a matter of, it's any given night. You got to be on your A game when you at that top level. You got to be on your A game every single night because if you're not on your A game and the next man is, you can lose. It could be a run of a mill fighter. If you're not on your A game and they come in there with the best game plan they ever came up with, it could be just enough for them to win and you lose. So it's all depends on how you come in on that fight. And like I said, it depends on if he can impose his style. Because with somebody like Tio, Antoine would give Tio a lot of problems because Tio doesn't do well with pressure fighters. He does well with fighters that fight on a distance because Tio can box. So he does well with that. But when you put that pressure on Tio, he doesn't know how to create distance. He needs to create that distance. Tio don't know how to create distance because he doesn't fight well with pressure fighters.
Yeah, and I think what you're saying is true because that's what made him lose to George Cambozo was because George smothered him. And that's the thing I think that Gary Antoine would do. He was smothering. And one thing about Tio is he, like you said, he's good, but when you crowd his space, he just doesn't like it. Salute to my brother Skitty Hardaway. If Tio, he said, if you can get Puerto Rico behind him, it'll be a great thing. I don't see any evidence of that as of yet. He said, be free. Skitty said, salute to the chat panel. He said De La Hoya was robbed. I don't know if he was robbed against Floyd. I thought Floyd won. Even though I thought Floyd won.
What fight was you watching? You think De La Hoya was robbed? What fight was you watching?
Well, we all seen Floyd Senior say that Oscar won that fight. But I think that had more to do because he was on the payroll.
Well, he got put out of the gym. Floyd said, "This is my damn gym. Get the fuck out."
he said the only time I've ever heard of Sugar Shakur being Puerto Rican is right here, BBO. Well, everybody knows he's Puerto Rican. Let me put that picture up for you. That's what he is. I mean, he can no longer, lie to the fans. He's Puerto Rican. That's just what it is, bro. There's nothing wrong with that. And then he said, Coach Joe, man, the goofiest cat on YouTube. Salute to my brother, Coach Joe, man. Let me see if I can find that thing for you, brother Paul. But he said it came. He said it came from his upbringing to the sport. But the one thing I will say before we get out of here, man, is I think boxing is a great place, and I want to send a big shout out to my co-host, man, D Free, man, because one thing that I've been wanting to do is bring you guys the best in boxing, and I can say, man, salute to my brother D Free helping me do that, man, and I can't thank you enough, man, for doing that, because what we got going here is great, man. What's going on, A1? Tell them where they can find you at, bro.
Oh no, I forgot. Damn it, I forgot the hell I was gonna say because I thought I was still on. But hey, y'all already know where I'm at, man. A1 Who's On. Basketball season is around the corner, so I'll be dropping more content on that. Definitely got a video coming about this preseason that's been going on. These young guns, these rookies with the mentality they coming in with. I'm loving what I'm seeing, so we definitely gonna cook on that. But I was gonna ask you, BBO, real quick before you hopped out. Do you remember that comment or that post you made and the comment I made? I think it was like that. Haney and his pops or something. Do you remember that one at all?
Oh,
yeah,
about
save
his dad
it.
serving 40 months in jail in federal prison. Yeah, I remember that.
Was it? I don't remember. It was just the other day.
Yeah,
I think it was yesterday.
You said, I put, will Devin Haney's dad hold him back?
Oh, okay.
You said you want, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say just on that point. If y'all haven't checked that out, go check out BBO post on that joint. I think it's on his community page. But I was gonna say, nah, man. I think people overlooking the fact that what Bill Haney his actual title is like he meant to promote and manage. Like I know you can't have like all three titles, but he got two of the three where it's like literally he doing everything in his best efforts to put his son in the best situations possible and make the most money out there. And a lot of people don't like it is because a lot of it is staying in house for what they're doing, and he's talking the talk and Dev is backing it up. You know what I mean? So regardless if you don't like Dev or whatever the case may be, but he's still one of them young great fighters that's putting on out there and is super talented. And his dad is talking big and boasting, and people hate it. And I think the only thing Bill gonna do is keep his name out there, and people gonna love him or hate him. Either way, they gonna tune in because they either want to see him lose or they want to tune in and say that he was boring because he boxes. So I don't think he'll hold him back.
That's a good point you make, but you got to remember, Bill Haney's a con man, and Bill Haney's a pimp. And anytime you're talking about a cat who did 40 months of federal prison, this is a guy who can't be trusted. But it's your boy BBO, it's your boy D Free. Salute to my brother A1. We're gonna be back. We got any fights this weekend? Free? I can't remember, man.
Yeah, it's some fights, but it ain't no big fights. As a matter of fact, it's a fight on tonight. But it ain't no big fights this weekend. The next big fight is Boo Boo versus David Benavidez on November 25th. That's the next big fight.
Okay. Oh no, November 16th. Remember, that's when Sugar Shakur fights.
Yeah, that's on a Thursday. That's on a Thursday. Yeah. I don't know how much viewing he's gonna get because Thursday night football.
People gotta football. People gotta go to work.
Yeah, I don't know.
But before we get out of here, man, I gotta say we can't forget this, and this is the thing. This is why BBO is saying this. Devin Haney's dad is great. I think it's always good when you got a father that take care of his kids, which is huge. But the thing is, the man doesn't know anything about boxing. All he keeps doing is trying to take his son around all these trainers. And as soon as he's on autopilot, he takes him away. But that's what he is. He's a known con man. The man did 40 months in federal prison. So this is not a good guy we're talking about either. We got to remember that about Devin Haney. About Bill Haney. He's a crook, man. But we are out of. You got anything to say about that, Free?
I wouldn't say that the man is a crook. I mean, the man did his time. He hasn't done the same. He hasn't done the same thing since he did his time. So I can't say that he's a crook. yeah, he's an ex-con. I mean, that's what he is. I mean, that's the fact. But I mean, people can change. So I'm not gonna say that he's a crook because I mean, I don't know nobody said that he conned him. You said you got people that didn't know, but I mean, conned him out of what? Because it ain't in the sport of boxing. He ain't conned nobody in the sport of boxing because if you look at it, those guys that's fighting Devin Haney making some of their biggest purses fighting Devin Haney. So can't say that he's robbing the fighters.
He left Oakland for a reason, bro. I know we don't talk about that, but he left Oakland for a reason. He didn't leave for no reason. But I'm not gonna get into that, man. I don't want to cut the brother down, but just remember that Bill Haney did do 40 months of federal prison. So it's not like this is a good guy we're talking about at all. But we're gonna focus on the fights. Like I said, it's your boy BBO, it's your boy D Free Bayless, it's your boy A1. Come check this out. We might be back. I don't know if it's a fight. Me and Free gonna talk, but we're gonna see. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Peace.